Alright guys, Friday. Look what Greg's doing.
Fun.
Yeah. I'm looking at this paper. This looks like a custom paper.
It is.
He showed me the label. It's a custom paper.
Yeah, they printed this. It's one batch. In other words, the customer picked out what they wanted, and the wallpaper company created the paper they wanted, but only one batch of it. So if we run out, there's no more of it. And it all has to be, your seams have to be cut by hand.
Amazing. I'll show you the bathroom. That's how our Friday's going so far. Or his. I know the Rangers play tonight. Wow. Hey. Hey. Pretty neat. Yeah. You got armadillo, bird, fountain, butterfly, mansion. Okay, there you go.
Alright guys, what kind of snake is this? This is just up the road from where we live. I think he's dead, but I don't know what kind of snake that is. Red and black. The only good snake is a dead snake as far as I'm concerned.
Saturday. Wow. Supposedly we have a day off. But there's Greg. For some reason they're underneath the lawnmower. I don't know why. He did get all this mowed today. This whole side over here. I bleached out his white t-shirts and some work rags. I did bleach out his work t-shirts and his rags for wallpaper. And man, first thing this morning he goes, I'm going into town. I'm gonna go on into, I don't know, Longview or something. I don't know which way he went, but I think it was Longview, he said. And that was the first time he got up that early for something besides work, but he had his overalls on and gone. He goes, I'm gonna get me some breakfast. So, actually, he went and got some scaffolding and some tools. Said he needs more scaffolding for his wallpaper stuff. So, you okay, baby?
Yeah.
You get another wire?
Yeah.
Where at this time?
I don't know, I got a flat tire too.
Oh no. Need help?
Maybe get some pliers.
Okay. Well, here we go again. Here's the scaffolding. I see the scaffolding. You got more straps, a nice set of screwdrivers, and I gotta get him some pliers. So here we go. Alright. Got plans tonight too. Things are going well in the garden. Pretty good. I have on the little lemon tree, I have little blossoms growing. I have blossoms on the tomatoes. And I did see a bee pollinating today. Yay, because we're short on bees all over. But this was what surprised me. I got two of these little boogers. That's Pecos cantaloupe, y'all. I got 2 of them growing. There's another one. I brought a cantaloupe all the way from New Mexico. Planted it right here. And this is Pecos cantaloupe. Yeah! But looks like I got some blossoms on the jalapeno. I hope it's either hatch or jalapeno. And that's my hatch for sure. But oh, there's a tomato. Oh my goodness, I already have a tomato. Look at that's aroma. That's aroma tomato. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Last year I had cherry tomatoes. The other tomatoes didn't make it. I've already got aroma tomato growing. Yay! Hey guys, Saturday night, and I'm trying to do the 1970s look because we're going to a 1970s disco party.
This wasn't my idea, guys. Janet always has these big, wonderful ideas, things that she thinks is going to be fun. And 9 times out of 10, they turn out not to be what she thinks they're going to be. But we went to this party last night. Little did we know it was a private party, but they advertised it online as being open to the public because it's at the VFW Hall, Veterans of Foreign Wars. And they let anybody in. You can have a party there, but they're going to let the general crowd in also. And Saturday nights is actually the slow night at the VFW Hall. So we arrived, we went inside, and most people were dressed up in 1970s music, or 70s clothing. But the unusual thing is they never played a 1970s song, never played any disco song. The only time we saw anybody dancing, we saw 3 couples dancing, and it was to country music, which is fine. But when we walked in, we were expecting a huge crowd. Counting Janet and I and the bartender, there's 20 people. And we didn't know any of them. So we sat down at the bar. Janet introduced herself to the first lady that she saw. I forget what her name was, but I do know what her stage name is. She came over and talked to us, and it was a party for her mother. And so anyways, we got there about 8:20, I guess, maybe 8:30. And I ordered a beer, Janet ordered a Dr. Pepper. And we're sitting at the bar talking to the bartender, because like I said, we didn't really know anybody there. And it was a strange crowd. But the girl came back over to us about 20 minutes later, and she walked up to me and she said, "Oh, by the way, my stage name is Destiny." And she said, "I've been known to take my clothes off." She said, "Destiny's my dancer name." I don't think she was really a dancer. I think she's joking around. But anyways, Janet and I looked at her, and we were both thinking, she's not fixing to get naked, is she? And she looks at Janet and me both, and she says, "No, actually, I have been known to get naked." Really bizarre. Maybe 20 minutes later, she came back by again, and she said, "Hey, you guys all ready to go to Rio? We're going to go over to Rio." And I'm thinking, Rio de Janeiro? Because I had never heard of a nightclub in Longview called Rio. Well, there is one. Instead of being spelled R-I-O, it's spelled R-E-O. And apparently, it was a famous, like, roadhouse back in the day. And it was one of the places where Elvis appeared. And I guess a lot of other big bands, people like Aerosmith and a lot of big rock bands had performed there. So it was a historic building, and it had come in hard times. It's been around since like the 1940s, but it had come across hard times, and they converted it into a skating rink because they had a huge wooden dance floor in the Rio. And so they converted it to a skating rink, and now the owner has been trying to figure out what to do with it, and he decided he's going to reopen it again as the Rio. So redid the inside, took all the markings off the wood floor, polished the floors, and this was their grand opening again. So we didn't know what we were going to do at that point, if we were going to go over there, and Janet was hungry, so instead we went over to the Page Pub, which is a pizza bar and grill. And we had dinner there.
It's Monday. We had severe storms last night. Greg did not go to work today. Roads are flooded. Flash flood warnings has been running today also. He's got new equipment in the truck. New scaffolding. And with driving over an hour through hills and stuff, we don't know what's flooded on down, but we know our road is flooded. So Greg did not go to work. His knee was twisted anyway. He needed to rest that. And he could, you know, he's been working on cards and internet and stuff like that and trying to rest his knee. But I'm cooking one of these, y'all. I just cut into it. It's still really bloody. Tonight we're supposed to have some more big storms. And we're way over our inches of rain for the year. So we don't need any more right now. This is Tuesday, right?
I'm sealing the ceiling.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. You already sanded?
Already sanded.
Okay.
Just sealing it. Sealing it helps the paper lay better on the wall, helps it stay up, holds it. It's kind of tacky.
Okay.
Basic stuff.
So you want me to help move you?
That'd be great.
Okay. All right. Roll them around. Okay. So you already cut it in, now you're rolling it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Man. Cover that up. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't put a primer sealer under your wallpaper, in 10 years when you decide you want a different wallpaper, you're probably going to have to hang over your original paper, because when you take your original paper off, it's going to damage the wall. This should help it so it doesn't damage it as much. I've been in homes where there's 6 or 7 layers of wallpaper on top of each other.
Oh, way back, huh?
Yeah, and a customer usually expects you to take all the wallpaper, the existing wallpaper off, which makes it kind of tough because you don't know how many layers there are.
Yeah.
I tell them, if it's just one layer, then this is the price. And if it's more than one layer, then I'll let you know as soon as I find out.
Yeah. But this is new house, so this is only one layer.
Well, no layers yet.
Yeah.
But it will be one layer.
What do you call that? A holiday? There, you
Did I get a holiday?
right here. That last roll. You got 1 inch by 2 inches. There. Got it. See? See?
Yeah, painters call a spot that you miss a holiday. I learned that my first day working in the union. Well, it wasn't my first day. First day working with the painters in the union.
Mm-hmm.
They had me painting some doors, and I missed a spot. And my foreman said, "Oh, you got a holiday." And I was thinking, really? I get a day off? I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You missed a spot." I said, "Why do they call it a holiday?" He said, "Because the painter went on a holiday and didn't finish his work."
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Oh my gosh. You guys, it's Wednesday. Battery's almost out. This is the first piece of the ceiling that Greg got done. Oh my gosh. This paper's from the 70s, y'all. That's what it said. Alright. Oh my gosh.
Somewhere. I think I knocked it off here.
Okay. Alright, guys. Ta-da! This is the second ceiling you've done in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
In a week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.